By the end of this year, the government will make a decision that affects every penny you own. Most people have absolutely no idea it's even being discussed, and I want to spend the next 10 minutes changing that. There's a word that the people designing the future of your money would really rather you never looked up. CBDC, so central bank digital currency. And if you haven't heard of it yet, you need to, because that is being built right now in Britain, and it's going to affect you directly, whether you are aware of it or not. So what actually is it? In plain terms, a central bank digital currency is money issued directly by the Bank of England. Not the money sitting in your NatWest or Nationwide account. That money is technically theirs. They owe it to you, but it sits in their system under their rules. And if they go under, of course, it's at risk. So this is different. This is state money guaranteed by them, coming directly from the central bank into your hands in digital form. And here's really the word that changes everything about this. It's programmable. That one word is really what this whole conversation is about. Programmable money means the people who issue it get to decide what you can spend it on, where, when, how much. They could put an expiry date on it. You don't spend it by a certain date, well, it simply disappears. They could block entire categories of spending that they don't consider desirable for certain purchases. And at the extreme, what this technology makes possible is, well, they could remove access completely. Without even a court order, no charge, no appeal, they can just take it. Enforced automatically the moment a particular rule is triggered with AI. Now, people keep asking me, why is this actually being built? And I keep coming back to the same answer. Because it isn't being built to solve a problem that we have. I can't think of one single problem in my life at the moment that a digital pound would probably fix. What it actually fixes is a problem that they have. Because right now, with cash still in circulation, with your bank sitting between you and the state, there's still some distance there. There's some friction. They can't control every decision that you make, no matter how little that is. And all we've got to do is look at the direction that governments have been going in the last few years. They have an obsessive interest in directing what we eat, how we travel, what energy we use, what we're even allowed to say. The one thing still standing between their impulses and the full enforcement of their agenda is now the money. Money still has some privacy, some independence, and a CBDC ends that entirely. And what most people don't realise is actually how far along they already are with building it. There's a pilot in the UK right now that most people have never even heard of, and it's called the Tokenised Sterling Deposit Pilot. I know it sounds very boring, but look, what they're building is a single unified ledger, one shared record where your bank deposits, central bank reserves, and government debt all sit in the same programmable space. Every layer of the financial system, from the very top to your personal account, all in one place, visible and controllable at the same time. So here's what they're doing. They're testing 3 things, and each one sounds completely reasonable until you understand what it actually enables. And the first one is something called marketplace payments. And they're saying that they're developing this to prevent fraud on platforms like eBay. But what this is actually testing is money that knows who you are. So right now, money doesn't know who you are, and it doesn't care, You hand it over, someone else receives it, and that's the end of the transaction. What this tests is money that will only move between people whose identities have been confirmed. No verified identity, no payment. Tax is also taken automatically at the point of transaction rather than being filed at year end, taken in real time before the money even arrives in an account. Now, the second thing that they're testing here is the remortgaging process. So this puts your home on the digital ledger. Your property and your mortgage become a single programmable unit, machine readable and auditable in real time. Now, right now, your home is yours and the mortgage is a separate thing, and the friction between the two of those things protects you. On this ledger, that friction disappears. Think about the most powerful leverage anyone can ever hold over you, and that's the roof over your head. And that's what's going on this ledger. And the third and final thing is wholesale bond settlement. And this puts government debts, the Bank of England's money, and your bank deposits all on the same ledger as well. Which is it will be a single point of control over every layer in the financial system simultaneously. And that's the first time in history, right from the very top down. Now, look, none of this is being called a CBDC, but it performs every single function of one. And if any of you are new to this, look, please do drop a comment below. I want to know how many people actually watching this have ever heard of the tokenized sterling deposit pilot before. I can't imagine that many. But what's it actually going to mean in practice for us? Well, your spending data is going to be captured by a centralized state system, which obviously tells a very deeply personal story about you, where you were and when, what medications you take, any health conditions you may have, what your politics are, which organizations you may support, whether you're looking to have a child. All of it is going to be inferable from your transactions. And once they can see it, they can act on it, restrict what they decide may be what they may consider socially inadequate purchases. So the wrong food choices, the wrong energy choices. And what happens? Are they going to stop you buying them? Are they just going to give you a quota as to how many you can buy? Are they just going to switch it off? Who knows? But the technology makes all of this possible, which for me is concerning. And I don't want to be alarmist, but look, even in January, the government announced plans to seize money directly from people's bank accounts on suspicion of benefit fraud. Not on conviction, but just on suspicion. So where will their powers end? We don't know. But ultimately, where this road ends is with universal basic income delivered through one CBDC. And I know that sounds very compassionate to a lot of people. Everyone gets a guaranteed income. No one goes without. But when that income arrives through a programmable currency that can only be spent on approved goods in approved locations, conditional on your behavior, that is not an income, that's an allowance that's state issued, conditional on your compliance with it. And if cash no longer exists, then you're entirely dependent on the goodwill of the government to participate in any form of economic life. So look, the decline in cash to me is not a natural shift in consumer habits. This has been engineered. There have been 6,000 bank closures between 2012 and 2023. Free ATMs are disappearing everywhere. The places that accept cash are shrinking year on year. In 2008, cash was used in 60% of all transactions in Britain. Today, that is around 8%. And here's what's really telling. Every time there is a cost of living crisis, the number of people going back to cash actually goes up, because under real financial pressure, the anonymity and tangibility of physical money helps people manage their lives in a way that the tap of a card just can't do. Cash is not dying because people don't want it. Cash is dying because those in power have decided they don't want us to have it. Cash is the financial expression of a free mind. So think seriously about what portion of your wealth you want to exist generally outside the system. Not in a bank account, not in an ISA, something completely outside, something that's actually physical, something that's real, and something you have control over. The question all of this forces every person, I suppose, to ask is, well, it's simply, is there any part of my financial life I want outside of a programmable system? And if the answer is yes, then physical gold is the asset that has served that purpose for 5,000 years. Not because of where the price of it is, but because it is real and it's completely finite. It can't be programmed, it can't be turned off, it can't be inflated away by a government that finds your savings inconvenient, and it can't be restricted on approved spending, whatever that may be in the future. So think about your financial resilience in layers. You need cash for your everyday life and physical gold for the longer term. Something that sits completely outside what is being built around us at the moment. The decision on whether to build the digital pound is coming before the end of this year. The window is still open, but it won't be forever. If you'd like to understand your options around physical gold, what it costs, how it's held, how it fits alongside everything else that you own, then please do give us a call at Gold Bullion Partners. Our details are down below in the show notes. No obligation or any pressure from us at all. We work with people at every stage, whether you're just starting to think about buying gold for the very first time, or you're a seasoned buyer as well. So it's a straightforward conversation, and given what I've just covered, I think it's definitely one worth having sooner rather than later. And if this has opened your eyes to something that you haven't considered before, please do share it, because the people building this system are counting on most people never finding out until it's too late. I've been Nicholas Ward at Gold Bullion Partners, and we look forward to speaking to you soon. Take care.